Hello children, Mr. Ryan back again, but this time let me deal with something which is very common. Every day you see it. You see your parents using it. You yourself, you also use it. What is this? Now when you go to the market to buy certain things, you have to pay some money. But when the shopkeeper tells you how much you have to pay, what do? You take all the prices of the different things that you are going to buy and you find out how much total money you have to pay. Similarly, your parents also do that. So today, what we are going to learn about is how do you find the total? What do you do? Well, as you can see here, this is what we do. We do addition. And that is what we are going to deal with today. And we are going to see specifically 3 subtopics. How do we add 2-digit numbers without and with regrouping? How do we add 3-digit numbers without and with regrouping? And finally, we are going to see how this concept of addition can be used in daily life through word problems. Now, before we actually go into the subtopic, there are some addition facts which you need to keep in mind so that addition later on becomes easier. The first thing here is when 0 is added to any number, we get the number itself. So as an example, I have used 0 plus 5 gives us 5, or 9 plus 0 gives us 9. So here we see that if 0 is added to a number, then the answer or the sum is the number itself. Second one is when 1 is added to a number, we get the successor or the next number as our sum or answer. Example, 5 plus 1, we are adding 1 to 5, we get the next number, that is 6. 9 plus 1, when 1 is added to 9, we get the next number, that is 10. Thirdly, addition of numbers can be done in any order of the numbers. The sum or the answer will always be the same. Now I have used 2 examples, one adding 2 digits and one adding 3 digits. So when we are adding 2 plus 3, we get 5. When we are adding 3 plus 2, we also get 5. So the order in which I place the numbers is not important. The order can be any way, but the sum or the answer will be the same. In 3-digit numbers or 3 numbers, 1 plus 4 plus 3 gives us 8. Similarly, 4 plus 1 plus 3, we have changed the order, but we still get 8. And thirdly, 3 plus 4 plus 1, again we've changed the order, but we get 8. So here you see that the order of the numbers does not make any change in the answer. So keeping this in mind, now we move on to our first subtopic, addition of 2-digit numbers without regrouping. So, example, add 15, 22, 31. We have already learnt what is place value. So here we've got all 2-digit numbers, so we've got 1s and 10s. So we place our numbers, arrange them in a vertical column. Now the first step we arrange the numbers according to their place values. Second step, we add the ones. So we have 5 plus 2 plus 1, which gives us 8. So we write 8 in the ones column as our answer. Moving on to the next column, that is the tens. We add the tens, we get 1 plus 2 plus 3, which gives us 6. So we write 6 in the tens column. So when we are doing it without regrouping, we just add the place values and we get the sum. Now moving on to with regrouping. Now let us see when there is a need to regroup. Now we are taking 32, 16 and 47. Again 2-digit numbers. We arrange it 32, 16, 47. Second step we do is add the ones as we did before. So 2 plus 6 plus 7 gives us 15. Now 15 ones. Now we cannot write 15 ones because we have only one column. So 15 ones is equal to 110 plus 5 ones. So we write the 5 ones in the ones column and we carry the 1 here, 110. We carry 110 to the tens column, as you can see here. After doing that, we come to the third step, that is we add up the tens column, that is 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 4, and we get 9 tens. So we write 9 in the tens column and we get 95 as our sum. So you see here, when any column, for example here the ones column is getting a number which is consisting of tens and ones, then the ones remain in the ones column and the tens is carried over to the tens column and added with the tens column. Now let's move on to 3-digit numbers. With 3-digit numbers, again we start first without regrouping. So we take 263 and 215. First step, arrange the numbers according to their place values. We do that. Now we have ones, tens, hundreds because we have 3-digit numbers. So 263, 215. After arranging, step 2, add the ones column. 3 plus 5 gives us 8 ones. So we write 8 in the ones column. Step 3, at the tens column, we get 6 plus 1, which gives us 7 tens. So we write 7 in the tens column. And moving on to the hundreds column, we have 2 plus 2, which gives us 4. So we write 4 in the hundreds column. So we have 478 of 478. Very easy, isn't it? Now, moving on to regrouping. Now we've got 267 added to 354. So, first step, arrange the numbers according to their place values. 2, 6, 7, 3, 5, 4. Now, the first step is over. Second step we come to is add the ones column. Now we got 7 plus 4, which gives us 11 ones. Now 11 ones is equal to 110 and 1 1. So the 1 1 is written in the ones place and 110 is carried on to the tens column. Third step, when we are adding the tens column, we add that carry over 110. So 1 plus 6 plus 5 gives us 12. 12 tens. Now when 12 tens are here, 12 tens means 100 and 2 tens. So we write 2 in the tens column and we carry 100 to the hundreds column. So now we add the hundreds column and we get 1 plus 2 plus 3, that gives us 6. So we have 621 as our answer or sum of our numbers. Now if you've noticed from here that when we are regrouping, we are taking the number and breaking it up or separating it into its place values. So either we have a tens and a ones, or we have a hundreds and a tens. As a result, we move into the next column and therefore we get the answer. Now we come to the third subtopic, that is, how does this concept be applicable in our real life? As I gave you the example in the beginning, you go to the market, buy certain things, you add them up, you add the cost, and then you find out how much is the total. So when we come to word problems, we need to use, or we need to remember these steps very carefully. Step 1, when we are getting a word problem, we must read the word problem carefully. Very important. Second step, every word problem has two parts. One is what is given and what needs to be found out. These are the two parts that we need to clearly separate. Now, step 3, check out the key words in the sum, such as altogether, total, to make you understand what needs to be done. In this case, we are talking about addition. So we are going to take the key words as altogether, total, sum. Now step 4, use the information that is given to find out the answer. When we keep these 4 steps in mind, problem solving or word problems becomes easy. Let's take an example. 250 apples were collected from one orchard and 620 apples from another orchard. How many apples were collected altogether? What is given in the sum? First we need to find out that. What is given? 250 apples were collected from one orchard and 620 from another orchard. So that is what is given in the sum. What do we need to find out? Total number of apples collected. So now we are going to use this, what is given, this information, to find out what is the question. So every problem sum, as you see here, must have 3 separate parts. One is the statement, one is the working, and one is the answer. 3 separate parts. So in the statement, we have to write what is given. So number of apples collected from one orchard is 250. Number of apples collected from another orchard is 620. Now we need to find out what is the total number of apples collected. So when we have to find the total, we need to add. When we add these two, we get 870. So our answer will be 870 apples were collected altogether. Why? Because we see the question, how many apples were collected altogether? So 870 apples were collected altogether. So each and every problem sum must have these 3 parts. It's compulsory. It's absolutely important. Now, one last note which you need to remember, that is, every word problem should have a statement, a working, and an answer. As I said, this is compulsory. This is absolutely important, and we should keep these 3 things separate and very clear in our sum. So, just to summarize what we did today, what we learned today, the first thing we learned was the addition facts, where we learned that if 0 is added to a number, then the answer is the number itself. If 1 is added to a number, the answer becomes the successor or the next number, and the order in which the numbers are added is not fixed. It can be arranged in any order. The answer will still be the same. And then we moved on to the first subheading, that is 2-digit number addition without regrouping. We found that we add the columns according to the place value and we get the answer. When it is regrouping, then we carry whatever has to be regrouped onto the next column and then add. Similarly, with the 3-digit numbers, we did the same. And finally, word problems. What did we learn? First, to read the problem carefully, then to separate the two parts. What are the two parts? What is given and what we need to find out. So once we separate those two, by using what is given, we have to find out what is the question. And then finally, we write down our problem, and every problem, as we said, should have a statement, a working and an answer. Thank you. Now, the worksheet for the same chapter is attached as a link in the description of the video. So please look at it carefully. Thank you.